Whether it's a shootout, a punch-up, or 15 Indonesian men throwing each other around a coke lab, an action movie isn't an action movie without some adrenaline-fueled fight scenes. What we don't appreciate is just how difficult they are to pull off. We're talking expert cinematography, highly trained stuntmen, and the kind of choreography that makes Michael Jackson look like a chubby teenager throwing shapes in his bedroom. Scrimp on any of these and you're likely to find things don't work out as well as you'd hoped. Scrimp on all of these and you'll probably end up in a crappy top 5 video on a channel with less than 200 subscribers. To celebrate some of the most poorly made punch-ups to ever hit the silver screen, I finally dragged myself away from my looming adult responsibilities to talk you through 5 of my favourites. You're welcome. How do you go from directing one of the best martial arts movies of all time to this? From the man behind Enter the Dragon, Black Belt Jones is a barely comprehensible 1970s blaxploitation flick about a heavily afroed karate-kicking dude who fights bad guys and stuff. That's what I got from it anyway. The film opens with an insanely bad car park brawl, but the pièce de résistance is the final battle between Afro
and evil.
In just a pair of board shorts, Black Belt Jones kicks ass at a car wash, flexing his impeccable six-pack as he dispatches a never-ending wave of generic henchmen. Almost every single one of his unfortunate opponents manages to find their way over to a dumpster, where this chick, who's only wearing a shirt for some reason, bungles them into the back and turns them into ground beef, with a smile on her face as well. Flipping psycho. And can we just take a second to talk about that noise? I mean, is it really necessary? Does he do it on purpose, or is it just a really bad habit? Do you reckon he does that in the gym? Because he definitely goes to the gym. A lot. Either way, this music is badass. Avid cult fiction fans, so all less than 200 of you, will probably remember I spoke about Samurai Cop in my Movies So Bad They're Good list. It's a heinously bad buddy cop caper about a samurai cop and his cool cat compadre as they take down the Japanese katana gang, of which only one member is actually Japanese. Kind of racist, really. Samurai Cop is jam-packed with awful acting, crappy one-liners, and unnecessary sex scenes, but the fights are where its terribleness truly shines. They're all as bad as each other, to be fair, but the grand finale is so painful to watch that the FBI have been known to use it to extract information from uncooperative prisoners. Stop it, please, I beg you! Pitting the luscious locked hero against the hulking Yamashita, who's definitely not Japanese. The scene opens with both characters picking up samurai swords and waving them around like a couple of overexcited nerds at a Star Wars convention. When their weapons finally connect, we're treated to a solid 4 minutes of bizarre facial expressions, followed by the most unconvincing ritual suicide ever caught on camera.
He's a samurai. He wants to die with honor.
What a waste of a good chin. Just in case you didn't think the last entry was manly, muscly or sweaty enough, wait till you get a load of Undefeatable. Now, I've never actually watched this movie in its entirety, but its final fight is so infamously bad, if you've been on the internet before, you've probably bumped into it at some point. Things start off as hammy as you'd expect, with the bad guy licking blood off his comically evil-looking knuckle duster / knife thingy. There's a lot of intense eye contact, and when blows aren't being exchanged, both participants do the kind of energetic shuffle I've only ever seen on the original Mortal Kombat character select screen. Look at those close-ups. Who just stands there and lets someone repeatedly punch them in the face? Who has that much saliva in the mouth at any one time? Who actually thought any of this looked good? Well, this guy apparently. Less than a minute in, both characters spontaneously decide to rip off their clothes, spending the rest of the scene rubbing their well-oiled six-packs together until a woman with a broken arm comes to save the day with a towel. And by woman, I mean what's very obviously a stunt man in drag. The whole thing ends with the big bad receiving a hook to the eye before being lifted up and away like a really painful Peter Pan. And as the cherry on top of a delightfully crappy cake, the heroic duo follow up with not one, but two sight-based puns that are so horrendous they make Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze look like William Shakespeare.
Keep an eye out for you, Stingray.
Yeah. See ya.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Turkish cinema is a flipping goldmine when it comes to unintentionally hilarious films, and Karate Girl is a shining example. With a generic 70s action movie plot about a policewoman who uses karate to avenge a dead husband, not only does Karate Girl contain one of the worst fight scenes of all time, if there was an official award for worst death scene, it'd win by 1,000,000,000,026.5 miles. After the karate cop confronts a turtlenecked chap in the world's most convincing disguise, an equally convincing scuffle occurs. Damn, son, look at those moves! It's pretty much just John Wick. Except Keanu Reeves is a Turkish woman in leather and no one on set's ever seen a real fight before. What was that face? It looked like the dramatic chipmunk. Disarmed and desperate, the crazy-eyed criminal reaches for his gun. Before he even has a chance to get a shot in, Karate Girl pops a cap right in his stomach. In agony, he does exactly what anyone else would do in that situation. Really obviously burst a blood capsule all over his jumper. What follows is a massively dragged out, gloriously exaggerated slow-mo death, as the poor guy takes about 1 billion bullets, unnecessarily destroys the entire room, and ends in a crumpled heap on the bed. Those eyes, man. Creepy AF. Remember this guy? Well, Undefeatable wasn't the first time he brought abominable action to the big screen. Before that, he liked making films about ninjas. In fact, out of his 150 films to date, I'd say roughly 53% of them have the word ninja in the title. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of great stuff to be found throughout his filmography, but the finest fight scene has got to be the end of Ninja, Silent Assassin. Starting off with two Australian guys in suits shouting and swearing at each other about ninja-related stuff, I guess.
Shit! Tiger's been arrested. What?
A sinister-looking blonde guy gives them a call and challenges them to the death.
To the death. To the death.
Cut to a clearing where 4 Power Ranger-looking mothers rock up to exchange trash talk before flapping their arms about for a bit. Each of them has a headband on that says ninja, because you're not a proper ninja unless you're wearing the official merchandise. Oh, and then the fight to the death begins. Sorry, I was distracted by the 2 fully grown men willingly dressed as bananas. Terribly shot, awfully acted, and unbelievably hilarious, this has got to be the best, worst fight scene of all time. 2 films in one list? Take a bow, Godfrey Ho. You're basically the Tommy Wiseau of action movies. I think that's a compliment. What's your favourite crappy fight scene in a movie? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, and as always, subscribe, motherfucker!